I want to show you today the notebooks that I am using right now. Nothing has changed, but it looks different. So let's just dive right into it and let me put all the things away that I need to support my talking and that I will tell you later on, or that I will tell you about later on. This is my planner. I started using it in, let's check, December of, or January, let's check. In December of 2018, and I have been using it on and off for that time. I have had some rough months in May where I just used it on and off. I did not use it very much. I think it started around spring break. We had a very busy spring. All of my kids do sports and none of them did the same thing. So that was I'm working, my husband is working, and so I just didn't fill it out very much. This was the end of the school year. I actually cut off a piece of paper right here, or a piece of the planner, because I had put in some grease marks and I knew that if I left it in there it would spread, so I just decided to cut it out. May was the last month of school, and the only thing I did in May was trying to survive and get to the end of the school year. That's exactly the reason why there's not much in there. You might have noticed that my YouTube videos went down. I just survived, and that's totally reflected in this planner as well. In June, we went on vacation to Germany, and I actually had the quick thought of putting in our schedule, or the plan that we were going to do. We were going to travel, visit friends, see family in different places, put it all in here. However, I decided that I wouldn't even take it. It would just be heavy stuff. I took a journaling pouch and my journal that I wanted to journal in, and I actually didn't do any of those things at all. So it was a good idea not to take it with me. And I decided to just leave the pages blank. When I got back, that was on this Tuesday, I added some kind of brain dump in here. All the things that I needed to do right away. These were things that I didn't want to fall off the back of my brain. I view my brain like this, like a plate, and I juggle all marbles on top of this. Every thought, everything that I have to remember is a marble, and when it's too full, the marbles will fall off in the back of the brain, or if it's uneven, then I will also have a hard time juggling all the marbles on top of there. It's kind of fun because people say, have you lost your marbles? For me, that's like, really, that's an image. I don't even know if it's from that saying that why I am thinking or visualizing my brain like that, but my thoughts are marbles on a plate that I'm balancing. That's my brain. Thoughts are marbles that I'm balancing in my head, and if something goes wrong and it shifts, everything falls off. So those are the things that were right here, almost falling off. I needed to put them down somewhere so that I could find them again. That's what it looked like here. And then I started slowly easing back into this planner. My husband and I do a regular planning session on the weekends, usually on Sundays, to plan out the next week. And I put in my schedule, and as you can see, we are here on this day right now. It has gotten fuller every week. And here's the reason why. I realized how important this planner or planning is for me. I also watched Dakshina. You need to follow her on Instagram and on YouTube. I will put her link in the description box below. She read The Bullet Journal Method by Ryder Carroll, and what she got out of the book and out of the whole One Book July movement was that she wanted to rapid log her days. And that stuck with me because I am journaling, but I am not journaling on a daily basis. Again, the marble thing, I don't want to forget too many things. And so that was perfect because I could put down everything that was important to me that happened that day in here, and then go back and refer to it when I'm journaling. Also, I decided not to continue with my photo stuff, let's just put it this way, scrapbooking for 2019 right now, which means that at one point, maybe in the future, I would want to come back and take photos from my photo library and print them out and document them in my memory planner. This way, I can easily read back on what happened, which feels good because here, you know, I will look at the photos and most likely will not remember what I did and what happened, how I felt. Well, overwhelmed could be something. So that's why this planner has gotten fuller and fuller. I started just because, probably because Dakshina also does it, or lots of people on Instagram fill their planner with stickers. I did not use very many stickers during the stressful season. Let's say it like that. Let's just use that term for it. But right now I'm feeling stickers. I don't want to use stickers for planning. I'm not going to look for a sticker for each and every activity. I just want to have a little bit of color in there. I mean, yes, I'm using a 3-barrel pen, a teeny tiny bit, a little bit of washi tape, some stickers. That's what I would like to have in here, and that's what I started. And it actually does motivate me to use my planner more when it's a little bit teeny tiny pretty. I'm still actually plan the exact same way I usually do. I put down the activities in black. I have the Hobonichi pen, or actually I'm not using the Hobonichi pen right now. I couldn't find it, but it's the exact same shape and form as the Hobonichi pen. It's the Uniball Jetstream 3-in-1. I will link the one, I have 2 now, so 3 in total. I will link them in the description box below. They are amazing, they're really cheap, and if you're not into the Hobonichi but would still love to have the pen, you can get it on Amazon. I use it, this is the pen that I carry around with me everywhere. I use it for planning. I use the black for appointments and my work schedule, activities that we do each and every week. I use the red one when I'm planning my day to fill in all the tasks that I really need to do and do not forget. And the blue one at the end of the day for my logs. Blue is what we did, red is what I had to do, and black is the stuff. And then I use a highlighter to make my work shifts more visible. And at the end of the week, I usually go in and highlight everything that hasn't been completed and that I need to carry over, or at least need to decide if it's still important for me to do. And what I started doing in the beginning of the year is I made a check mark on each of the pages that I had already gone back and checked if there was anything on there that needed transferring to someplace else. That system really works for me. I am using a monthly view, but to be honest, this doesn't help me very much. This actually does more. I need more color and color coding in my planner, in my monthly view, just to, or like this worked, this doesn't. So if I really am going to use the monthly view, I need to make adjustments to how I fill in and how I make it usable very easily without if it takes me an hour and a half to do this, this is not feasible very often. Maybe I can take the time, maybe I can't, but it needs to look more like this. And so I need to figure out a way to make it more appealing and more visually readable, not visually whatever. It needs to be more readable without taking too much time, if that makes sense. I am using this for my monthly brain dump, some goals. There is sticky notes on here for thoughts that I had or plans, creative plans that I had for the coming months, and I will review those once the month gets closer. There is also a goals or whatever kind of tracker in here. I haven't used one. So I started out pretty well with tracking my goals. And then again, in the summer, I didn't really, so I stopped. In July, I didn't fill it out at all. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it in August. I did sit down and review my goals, especially my creative goals. Yeah, but I'm still in the process of doing that, so I'm not really that sure if that's something I want to keep up. And what's today? I need to put in. Okay. Yeah, that's about this. So as you can see, today is the 16th. I did not keep track of this. And I don't really know if it's necessary, That's something I will do. I'm very lazy by nature, and I will do things where I can see that something has changed or that it has some kind of effect. And then I had a budget spread in here. That went really bad. I went on a spending spree after the longer the vacation or school was off, summer break was on, the more stuff I bought to make myself feel happy. When I'm stressed, when I don't have enough alone time, then I go out and buy happiness, I know it's not working. So I need to go back and stop the spending immediately. This one, as you can see, this was my reoccurring task list, cleaning list, went down the wayside really early on. I talked about this in my other video. I tried to meal plan on this. In years past, I loved doing meal planning by the month and not weekly. I think we have a family planner, and there is a monthly spread that we don't really use. Maybe I will use that at the beginning of next month and see how it works, because we all decide on meals, so it doesn't really have to be in my planner. This is the idea book, the planner that I'm using, in case you haven't noticed yet, is the Jibun Techo in A5 Slim. And this is the collections list, bullet journaling part. I'm using it very slowly, and yeah, it's good that it's here. I'm referring back to especially this meal page. I also created a perpetual birthday calendar, so I can actually look up whose birthday is when. But oftentimes, like for the video ideas book page, I don't go back to it or refer back to it. So some of them are working, some of them are not. But I'm really glad it is here. What I have been thinking about, and this is why there is a blank weekly page right before this week, is my planning system for 2020. How do I say this? So I don't want to fall into this planner crazy shopping spree that is coming up soon. Hobonichi just released their lineup for 2020. The Jibun Techo is being released. The Midori inserts are being released soon. And I don't want to go out and buy all the things, especially considering the fact that I do have a stash of notebooks that I haven't used. I started journaling in an A6 size and let that go because it was too small for me. And so my idea throughout the summer was, what if I just used what I have for planning instead of buying new things? And this thought did not let me go at all. So what I did that week, I went out. I did it on a whim, and I'll grab the other one to show you too. So this is what I started in the beginning of 2019. I was thinking about using an A6 notebook as my journal. I wanted to journal on a daily basis, but I didn't want the pressure of a pre-dated planner, and so I bought the A6 Stalogy, which is this one, which I did not really like the paper, how it reacted with watercolor, and also how how my fountain pens wrote in it. They did not really, it wasn't smooth enough, kind of. That's probably what this is mostly. So I ripped out the first signature and purchased the Nanami Cafe Note. It is Tomoe River paper, and moved all the things in here and then journaled on. But I kind of fell out of love of it, and I think I know why. For two reasons. I felt it was too tiny. I wasn't able to put that much creativity in it. I mean, there is stuff in there, but I felt that I was using up too much space for writing. And the other thing that I think I have found out is that the grid is actually too small for my handwriting. I'm not comfortable writing in putting my handwriting into one of the grids, but writing over two of them is too big. So it's the wrong one. I actually prefer this size grid. It works better with my own handwriting. I have realized this when I was testing it in the back. But let me continue with my long story. So what I decided to do is to abandon both of those books. I decided to cut off. I actually sliced off the first signatures, and you can actually, I think you can see it right here a bit. And I just used a cutting knife, picked out the signature that I was going to take and cut it off. And I did the exact same thing with this one. This one I was able to salvage the cover. And I just inserted a scrapbooking paper as this part. I think it's, no, it's not. This part that is usually inside here. And I just stuck it on here. And I really like how this looks actually. And then for this one, I had to make a cover, and then I added one of those inserts here, and then I actually used Gorilla Tape to bind it again. But I think this works fine. Now, if it's true that I don't write comfortably with this size grid, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this notebook, because I don't know if I want to use this as a planner when it's this big. But I don't know if I can sell something like that, because I have used it. There's stuff in the back. I wouldn't even want to take this out because it doesn't really affect anyone. But you know, I don't want it to go to waste either. So if you have an idea, or if you want to buy it for like maybe $10, shipping included. I don't know if I can actually, well, maybe you pay shipping and 10. It's usually 20, I think. I'll have to look it up. I don't know. Send me, comment in the, down there if you are interested in purchasing it, and we'll find a price. That, let's say, put it this way. Long story short, it didn't let me go. My idea of, where is it? Using an A6 Stalogy for my planning. I know I said before that I really, really love the weekly view, and I do. I absolutely love looking at my weeks like that. But what I noticed when I was rapid logging and adding in my bits and pieces, and also my to-dos, is that my handwriting is borderline too big for this planner. I don't feel comfortable always not writing with my own handwriting, and it's not this small. I mean, it worked, and I wrote small, but that's not my handwriting. This is my handwriting. So when I did the rapid logging, I noticed that it took me so much time. It would take up so much space, and wider days would be much better. So this idea of using what I have would be awesome. Now, I'm not sure if I do have this view on my computer as well. I don't know if this is enough. I might purchase a weekly insert from Hobonichi. They offer the A6 insert. It's a teeny tiny booklet, and just try and see if by adding lines and color coding, if that is something that I need. We will see. So I tried this for 1 week and a couple days. I needed some place to meal plan. I added some kind of like a brain dump for the week. And then I had the days here. I added appointments like that with using a highlighter to make it more visible. It is different, definitely. It looks different, but it really worked well. And as I said before, I realized that I actually prefer writing in this bigger grid a lot better. Yeah, this is it. This is what I'm going to use in 2020 for my daily planning. I have no clue, and I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the rest. I am reading the bullet journal method right now. What I do know for sure is that I don't really want to chunk up my daily carry. So this is what I could use as a daily carry thing. I like that it's so small. I can pop it into my backpack and use it, and it's there, and my planner is there. Since it's not a dated planner, if I need to jot something down that goes someplace else, I can totally do that and just use the first blank page. So I don't really know how this is going to work out in the end, but it's definitely a good place to start. And I'm open to changes. Isn't changing part of what we planner people love to do? So yeah. So I don't really know if all of those lists and things will be in here, if they will be in another A6 notebook that is smaller. No idea. I know for sure that I really, really, really liked this size. And I also know for sure that I have very many standard size traveler's notebook inserts. So what I might end up with, I decided to I have been doing lots of work notes in here, and this is just going to be my work notebook. So everything that I need to learn, every course that I need to take, and where I want to take notes will go in here. That's why I still have this. I'm still using this. This is my workplace, and I just popped on one of the bigger stickers, and I will use this for whenever, until it's full for work-related stuff. I decided to have a learning insert, which is just a regular, and I'm really digging the grid at the moment, which is funny because I really was drawn to the dot grid, but I have this in my stash. As I said, I don't really want to purchase new things right now. I want to use what I have, so I decided to use it, and I really like it. This is what I would call my learning insert. I just added the year, so if I'm continuing using this in 2020, I will just add 2020 and then use it until it's full. What I want to put in here is all the things that I learned that I think are important that I want to reference later on. Right now I'm reading the bullet journal method, and that's the first page of notes that I took. I think what I really want to do is, if I have other organizational things that I need to jot down, I don't want to have those in here as well. Yeah, I do have more notebook covers, so if I need another cover for some kind of functional organizational notebook, I totally could do that. Right now, the fact of having multiple different things for multiple different things sounds very appealing to me. What I do know for sure is that if I take all of those books that serve different purposes and chunk them up into one big notebook, I will not use it. I have tried that before. That's not working for me. I don't need to make the same mistakes over and over again. So that's something that I have already learned. I'm not going to do that. Learning insert. This one is probably gonna be let free. Maybe if nobody wants this, and if it's still in my stash once the Stalogy is finished, I will just go ahead and use it, because I mean, come on, it's just going to be a planner. I also started another insert. Okay, so this is my goals insert. Yes, I do have a goals insert. I decided to have a separate insert for it. I started thinking about goals in here, but what I didn't like, and that's why I'm now trending towards having different things for different things. I started it in here, but then I took notes, and then I went back into my goals. Then I took notes, and I think that's it, yeah. But it feels like, especially the goal stuff, I want to have this in one specific location. I don't want to have it intermixed with anything else. And I think I really like this size for it. Again, I just added this 2019 up here because I don't think I will finish this until the end of the year. I made myself a grid insert or a page that I could put behind here and use to shine through so I can write on a straight line. This one is too small, so yeah. Yes, and so I just transferred the things that I had in this notebook in here, and I'm on hold at the moment. I wrote down the aspirations for the rest of the year, but the bullet journal notebook has one insert or section here, which is actually the start of this. Before we dive in, the system. Here, the mental inventory. I want to do a mental inventory first before I go back here. So, and I have a friend, my friend Anna, which I will link in the description box below, who is reading this book as well. And once she gets to this mental inventory, we are going to do this together and then talk about it. And I hope we will be very insightful and find out things that we want to work on for the rest of 2019. I like this format because I think that I could put one or two goals on each page and then go back at the end of the quarter and like add notes. Why did I not do it? What was more important? Is it still important for me? Stuff like that. So that I can then analyze and see is this really a goal? Is this just something that I think I want to do, but I don't really want to commit to it? That kind of thing. So yes, I did my August check-in and I'm going to work on this more. Maybe incorporate the inventory in here. Not sure yet, but this is my goals notebook. This is a blank Midori insert in the Camel passport size traveler's notebook. And I guess this is a good thing to go back and tell you about all of those things. This is a Rhodia dot grid notebook. I absolutely love the paper. It is super thick, very smooth, and it holds up to fountain pens amazingly. My fountain pens all glide across the paper. It feels, every fountain pen that I use in here writes smoothly, which didn't happen in the Stalogy A6. That's why I actually switched out of it, because I was so frustrated with it. This is a special edition cover from Hobonichi that was released for 2019. I have it in a cover-on-cover, and then I put this A6 Stalogy 365 notebook in here. And I'm still debating whether I want to get another cover, so I'm able to switch it out, or if I am going to be frugal and not do it. The idea of having a plain cover and maybe being able to add stickers underneath or die cuts that I could swap out really appeals to me. So I'm torn. This is my very first traveler's notebook. It is, the branding on here still says Midori, or I guess they pronounce it Midori, which I can, but I don't want to. It's the brown leather. I really love it, and that's why I'm going to use it. The elastic is a little bit loose. I have one of the Starbucks charms on here, and then this is a grid insert from the Travelers Company. I really like how my TWSBI Echo writes in this, so I am totally going to use that for my learning notes. I am thinking about, so once I have used up all of my notebooks that I already have, I might go ahead and purchase a Tomoe River notebook, and I already have the maker in mind, which is Paper Penguin Co. I have purchased from them before, and they really deliver quality notebooks, and yeah, so that's in the long distance. I have no idea how long it will take me to fill this up. And then I do have two more things that I want to share with you. This is kind of my creating journal, knitting journal. I'm not only putting in knitting here, that's why I have a hard time finding a name for it. It is housed in a Mystics Little Gifts B6 notebook cover in the carbon leather. I love this, the teal stitching with it. I love how it goes with it. This was a charm from Coco Daisy. This works perfectly together. I feel like I will never go and take this apart ever again, because I just love how the colors go together. This is my first insert. I have mainly knitting projects in here, but this is kind of like a knitting junk journal. I tip in the belly bands for the yarn. I tip in business cards from shops. I tip in photos that I take from the things that I purchase, receipts, things that I buy when they send me stuff. I put it all in here, and I really love how chunky, and yeah, it looks like a junk journal and it feels like a junk journal. I really like how that works. This one is, I think, almost full. I'm still working on projects. That's why it's still in here. I might leave it in there because I'm usually not taking this out of my house. And here is the next part. I need to write down what I sent and print out a photo. And then what I also, photos for things that I already started putting together, and then I need to add in more things. This is also kind of a very, very thick paper. I really love that about this paper. This was a Coco Daisy insert, and it worked, but also didn't. So I was like, nah, I don't want to use another one. But I really liked the thickness of the paper. When I found this in my stash, I decided to use this one. I also have another one in there, another notebook in here, just for the reason because I put this binder clip on the notebook and hook in my pen, and I have my pen that I use to write in here right there. And I also slip in another mild liner. I use this highlighter to highlight things in patterns that I need to remember so that I can find them quicker. And this is, yeah, this is something that I haven't changed in forever. So this is kind of like something that really works, and I will not change anything about that. What I don't know if this A6 notebook, for instance, once I'm done, I really do like the B6 size. And so I might, once I have used up all of the A6 notebooks, I might then switch over to a B6 notebook for my daily planning. However, there is a big difference in weight. And I'm someone who really likes to take small things. So right now, I don't think I will change this very soon if it works. That's funny. I'm talking about changing something that I haven't really tried yet. Yeah. And my mouth is getting filthy. So I just wanted to say that I don't even know if I mentioned this last time I did an updated video. This is my creative journal. I started it on May 10th. I absolutely love it. I love working in this. I think I found the perfect size for a creative journal for me. I also really like that it is not dated. I think right now that I'm not going to change that in the near future. However, I am totally tempted to get a Hobonichi, maybe not next for 2020, but maybe 2021. You never know how things change. Right now, this works great. I want to film a flip through and tell you all about this notebook in another video that I might film Monday. I can only film when my children are in school and I work, so I need to find open slots where I can actually possibly do that. But this is really working for me. I love the paper of the Midori notebook. I can see me using this for a long time. I love adding stickers to this cover. I have been tempted to purchase an A5 Hobonichi cover, but I don't know, because then I can't see the stickers anymore. So this actually works really well. And covers always make things heavier, so maybe it isn't a good idea to have a cover. I'm planning on filming a flip through, talking a bit more about how I do things in here. So I have lots of ideas to film. I need to find time to do them. See you soon. Bye.